tonight's video is about dreams. And I know we all dream, but in different ways. And also the video is going to be just my voice. No triggers tonight. Just listen to my voice. When I dream, sometimes what happens is as I'm lying down, or laying down if you want, I make my body, and I don't know if you've tried this before, but I've been doing this for years, but I've slowed down lately. What happens is I sort of force my body, like as if I was, like with my eyes closed, as if I was contracting every muscle in my body, forcing with every muscle in my gut, my spine, everything, just concentrating on every single muscle and bone in my body. And what it does to me is it sort of makes my body go numb. Not like when, like a leg falls asleep or an arm falls asleep, but it's a pleasant numbness. Yeah. It's quite relaxing. It's sort of like a body ASMR if you want. And as my body goes numb and I slowly drift asleep, then something happens. I start to float. Yeah. I don't see my body like some of them say, like you've left your body. No, it's not true to me anyways. What happens is I just float. I'm just in the air, as if I was like flying like Superman, if you want, but without the costume, of course. And I have no control on where I'm going, but I just fly and float. I can control the speed, but not the location. And I soar. Like sometimes I'm going above the trees, and I'm soaring I could almost touch the branches on the top of the trees. That's how high I am. But sometimes I even get higher, like as if I'm heading towards the clouds. But I've never gone any higher than that. There's always been a limit. And then I sort of bring myself down. But I'm not controlling any of this. It's all in my dream. And then as I'm soaring, sometimes my body starts fooling around with the dream. I could be going near the electrical poles and zooming around the transformers, or somebody's house. And it's as if I know these places. I know I've been there before from what I'm seeing, but I don't control any of it. And as I come down, sometimes I'll land in a specific area, like in a city. I could be in a city somewhere, like a big city. Like I'm Canadian, like let's say Toronto. Or if I'm in Montreal or wherever, because I've lived in Montreal. And as I'm in the city, like I'm going, let's say shopping, okay, in my dream. Or I'm just lost in the city. Like I know the city. But if I'm like, let's say I'm in the city and I'm underground. Okay, I come up, I'm in the city on the streets, but the next thing you know, I'm underground in these shopping malls. And I'm walking and walking and walking. And as I keep on going, like I'm not buying anything. I'm not shopping. I'm not looking for any specific item or anything. I'm just walking underground. Like, why am I underground? Like, how come I'm not walking on the streets? You know, I don't know. It's my dream. And as I'm walking along, I just keep on walking. And then the next thing that happens is I come to a Y. Okay, like there's two ways I could go, to the left or to the right, in these tunnels. So, you know, I start going one way. Let's say I'll go left in one dream, okay? So I'm going left in my dream. And as I'm going, you know, I'm ending up, it's not a shopping mall anymore. It's turning into like almost a hospital atmosphere. So as I'm going closer, I say, no, this is not for me. And I turn around, of course. I head back. And then I decide, when I get back to the junction, I say, I'm going to try and go right. But when I start going on the right tunnel, and I keep on going, I end up that the tunnel starts getting smaller and smaller and smaller. And I want to get to the other side, of course. I need to get through the tunnel. But it's getting, and I'm very claustrophobic. I never used to be when I was young. But as I got older, you know, things happened to me, and it sort of turned me extra claustrophobic, if you want, or super sensitive to these things. So, as I get closer and closer towards, like, I think it's the end of that part of the tunnel, I end up with, in front of me, there's like, sort of like an entrance, but there's a door, and this entrance is only about like 2 feet by 2 feet. I know I could push on the door and then, you know, crawl my way through. Maybe there's like another tunnel on the other end. But then I said, no. I said, no, this is not for me. No. So I turn around and I backtrack to the exit, well, where I started off from in the tunnel, or the shopping mall, underground shopping mall, if we want. So I get back on the city streets, okay? And I say, I'm going to go get my car. Don't ask me why my car is there, but it's there. And I've had a lot of cars. So which one is it? It's always the same one. Well, in these dreams, of course. It's my old Pontiac 6000. Yeah, I loved that car. It was so comfortable. And it was white. And it had these red racing stripes, like on the tail end of the car in the back. I had like these diagonal, if I can say it. I get mixed up with my French and my English, stripes. Okay, racing lines. Okay. And it was pretty flashy, okay? You can imagine, red on white. You could see it from a mile away. So I'm there, and I'm trying to find my car, I can't find it nowhere. And I'm walking, and I said, I'm positive I parked it there. But in reality, I never parked it. In reality, it's only in my dream. So I'm searching and searching and searching. And I'm almost like, for sure, like 100% positive that that's where my car was supposed to be. Outside the school. In the parking lot of the school. Why it's there in school, and what am I doing in front of the school? Like this is like a college, okay? And there's nobody around so far. So I say, well, it's been stolen. That's the first thing that comes to me, like in my mind, my dream, that the car's been stolen. So now I don't have a car. I'm on foot, since I've been on foot since the beginning. And I say, okay, well, I'm going to try and find my car. So I start walking around the college, checking out the parking lot in the back. I said, maybe I've made a big mistake, and the car is somewhere else. It's not there. I start doing all the side streets, walking and walking. Like, how come I'm not floating anymore? The numbness has dissipated. It's gone. So of course I can't float because I'm in my dream and I'm not making myself go numb anymore. So I do all the side streets. No car. So I say, okay, now I start to panic. And I say, how am I going to get out of this city? How am I going to get home? Because now I want to go home. I'm tired. So I said, well, I could walk. But we're talking like from the city to the country. We're talking maybe 50, 60 miles that I would have to walk. And in my dream, I realize that this is almost going to be impossible. Like, I'm already tired. I'm not going to go walk 50 miles to get home. So I say to myself, maybe I can buy myself a ticket, take a bus. And this is all happening in my head, of course. So I go to the bus station. I walk to the bus station, of course. And I say, well, look, I'd like a ticket, to home. Like, I was living in Compton back then, way back. It's a little town. And we lived in the country because I was young then in my dream. So, of course, I buy the ticket and they say, okay, but now what's going to happen? I'm going to take the bus. I'm going to get to the country town, but then, like, I live way out in the boonies. How am I going to get home? Well, I'll find a way when I get there. Okay. So I take the bus, and the bus was like later, like 4 o'clock in the morning or something. It's dark. And of course, I say, well, what the heck? It's a dream. So I take the bus. I get to the continent, the little town, okay? Then I say, well, look, I can hitchhike. I'll hitchhike or I'll walk. It's only like 5 miles. So it's not the end of the world. And back then, I was living with my mom, okay? That's before I moved out to the city. So, okay, so you see, you get the point. Because that's when I moved away to the city. So it was sort of tying my dream to my reality of when I was younger. So I walk, okay? No cars in sight, no hitchhiking, nothing. I get home, okay? I get in the driveway, walk in, check the door, just thinking I'm going to walk in, okay? No, it doesn't work that way. The door's locked. So I walk around the back. We had the pool. I there check out the back. I'm sitting by the pool, the whole thing. Mom's not around. Nobody's around. Sis is not around. Nobody. There's nobody around. So I said, where is everybody? And then all of a sudden I see something. It's almost like a note. And it's telling me that Mom is living in the city now. Well, okay. Now this is a dream, okay? But this is getting pretty hectic for a dream. So now I have to find my way back to the city. Okay? And the sun is not coming up or anything. It's still dark out. So I say, how the heck am I going to get back to the city? I can't take another bus. There's not another bus till the next day or whatever. And I don't even think I had the money. But I could have conjured the money up in my dream. But that's no fun. So I say to myself, okay, well, I've got this sort of like, go-kart contraption that I built, whatever. It's like a skateboard, but bigger. And you could lie down in it and sit in it and have a little motor and the whole thing. So I said, well, look, I'll take my little go-kart skateboard and I'll take that to get back into the city. Start it up, get on it, and this thing could fly in my dreams. Like this thing was rolling. Like I'm on the auto route and I'm just flying like, whoo, like a jet. And I'm lying down and, these little wheels and this thing is just spinning. It's just, gunning it all the way through. So, next thing you know, I'm doing the hills and up and down and racing and the whole thing. And, eventually passing cars. Like now there's cars, okay? So I'm passing the cars on this little jet go-kart, if you want. So finally, I get into the city, roll it into there, and this thing is almost on fire. It was so hot, from the speed. So I just like, boom, hit the brakes, slam down, and where's the brakes on these things? Like, it's just automatic, it just happened. So I get off it, and I look at it, and it's just like falling apart. That's how messed up it was after the roll, the ride. So now I'm back on foot. I've got to find my mom's apartment. Like, where's she living? So I got the address, but it was like as if I had to walk up a hill. There's the streets, and the streets are going all up, So I start walking up the streets and taking the side streets. So now I'm back on side streets again, And I say, well, maybe I'll find my car. As I'm walking up the side street, trying to find my mom's apartment. So I take one side street, okay? Get across, get up. I see this little white house. So I say, that's it. That's where Mom lives now. With sis, because my sister was living there too. So I say, okay, well, now I get there, and would you believe it? What is parked in front of the car, front of the house, sorry. It's my car. Yeah, my Pontiac, the white and red one. Why is my car there? In reality, my car should have been back in Compton, like back where we used to live. So something brought me to a conclusion that nothing is really the way we perceive it. But there's always a meaning to something like that. And was it because in the future I was to move? Well, of course. I was going to miss our home because I had to go to the city and study. You see, that's where the school comes in, the studying, the college, the car, because I had to drive to the city to, start the courses, of course, and get an apartment in the city and the whole thing. So my dream was telling me what was going to upcome in my future, but pretty far-fetched, if I can say so. So this is just one dream, but ever since, before I even moved to the city, and then of course I came back to the country, I was always having recurring dreams. Now, if you like this type of video where I just ramble and I tell you about my dreams, because I've had quite a few, and I know for a fact that I'm not the only one. Let me know in the comments if you've had these sort of dreams, or a little bit of how your dreams, or how you perceive your dreams. So just let me know if you want. So anyways, take care, love you, and be catching you on the next video. Bye for now. Bye.